Hello and welcome to the video. Today I'm going to show you how to completely transform your Cyberpunk 2077 experience with some of the best mods available. I'm covering everything from combat to driving and making Night City feel more alive than ever. So let's jump right into the mods that will bring your game to a whole new level. Starting strong, Guns Redone version 3.0. This mod does a complete overhaul of the weapon systems in Cyberpunk 2077. It introduces unique adjustments to each weapon class, focusing on realistic damage outputs and rebalancing. To make the shooting experience more impactful, shotguns for example, deliver a more significant punch with closer spread and more damage. SMGs have faster fire rates, and it's easier to control recoil, enhancing their utility in close quarters combat. This mod does a hell of a lot. There are heaps of details on the mod page, so feel free to browse those. This mod shines on the very hard difficulty, or if you're using hardcore 22v2 complete realistic combat overhaul, for example. Use this mod to enjoy a more immersive tactical combat experience. It's a great overhaul of the weapons in Night City. Next up, Responsive NPCs. This mod makes the world around you react more realistically to your presence and actions. The citizens of Night City will notice what you're wearing, how you're behaving, and if you're carrying a massive weapon in public. Dress in gang clothes and you might blend with certain factions or incite hostility from rival gangs. If you're carrying a sniper rifle in the open, civilians may back away and law enforcement might become more vigilant. This mod adds to the game's immersion, making the world feel more reactive, and people respond to V's actions in a way that feels more believable. NPCs will also react more dynamically if you're not wearing any clothing, with different responses based on their social standing, making for some interesting and often humorous encounters. So if you do decide to wear your birthday suit in public, people will have very different reactions. And for me, they turned the other way and walked or ran off. It's a hell of a lot more reactive than without the mod. As before, Night City's residents would do absolutely nothing and be completely empty shells. But this mod makes for a way more alive experience. Now, the next mod I have or had on my list is the Law Enforcement Overhaul. Now, firstly, before I do get into it, it actually fights with 3 or 4 mods on this list. Now, if you go to the post page on the Law Enforcement Overhaul mod, there is 2 things you can do to make it compatible with 2 other mods. There is a photo of it on screen now, these things you can do, but also it fights with another mod that I've got coming up, Cop Killer. Basically, Cop Killer makes it so police drop loot and ammunition. So does Law Enforcement Overhaul. Now in the end, I actually did all these compatibility things and got rid of Cop Killer and it still would not work. But in the end, what I did is I just got rid of Law Enforcement Overhaul and my game worked fine. Now, let me be clear. I think Law Enforcement Overhaul is a great mod, does a lot, but for the issues it caused me, it's not worth for me to continue to have it installed. I will leave it here and I'll say, if you want to install Law Enforcement Overhaul, go to the post section of Law Enforcement Overhaul and do what it says, download the optional file and delete the Immersive Cyberpunk City thingamajig, okay? And you can have it with, supposedly, that's what the mod creator says you can do. You can have it installed alongside with Night City Alive and Immersive Cyberpunk City. Do not try and install it with Cop Killer. It shouldn't work. It has issues. And I actually did get a comment previously. I apologize to this person. I actually gave them the wrong response because they asked me, does Cop Killer work with Law Enforcement Overhaul? I had a look myself and it looked and appeared like it would. Plus the next day I went and downloaded the mods together and they worked. But no, my friend, it does not. Now, what Law Enforcement Overhaul does do, and keep in mind, I've gotten rid of it. I don't use it. But what it does do. So, CDPR's 2.0 update improved the police system, but Law Enforcement Overhaul takes it further, adding variety and district-specific responses. The NCPD now varies their approach by location. So there is a little mappy map, a legend as well, that shows you the sectors where each police type will spawn, basically. In the red is where Arasaka will spawn. If you're doing crime in that area, you will be approached by them. The yellow is where Militech will spawn and fight you. If you're doing crime, you get the idea, right? Very cool, very cool. Now, because I'm mad at the mod, I don't even want to read the rest of the part of that mod I had in the script. Yeah, this mod does a whole bunch, and it's slightly a shame that it is such a disagreeable mod and fights with all these other mods I have. Anyways, I'm moving on to the next mod, which is compatible and works and is a nice little touch. Dynamic Wanted Stars. The Dynamic Wanted Stars mod changes the visual representation of your wanted level based on your current location. In Dogtown, they are green. Normal Night City is the classic blue, and the Badlands make it a police badge color yellow gold kind of thing. A small but welcome change. Moving over to Cop Killer. This one's for those who want to take the fight to the NCPD with style. This mod tracks every police officer you take down, including patrol officers, tactical tactical units, NCPD robots, netwatch, you know, the freaking police in the game. Once your wanted level expires or if you die, you'll see an on-screen report summarizing your kills. It changes what it says based on who you kill most, or it just changes randomly. I'm unsure at the moment. But it's a satisfying way to commit crime in Night City. Police loot has also been enhanced. Now cops will drop ammunition and weapons and all sorts of loot. You'll also find loots like cash, crafting materials, and unique items from police tactical units, like certain police in the game. This mod also has a lot of features. Destroying a police vehicle sends a powerful message to Night City's downtrodden. Basically, if you destroy some vehicles, it's a violent beacon that will invite capable individuals to join your battle, like some gangs or some just allied citizens, basically. They'll join your fight and they get a buff of like plus 25 health, for example, and plus 10% crit chance, which is really cool. So you can start like a full-on riot with guns. It has some mod settings you can change around. It has an underfunded department mode, which has a bunch of features. And it also has a thing called the State Asset Forfeiture feature, which gives you access to police vehicle trunks, which can hold valuable items. When you open it, you might find cash, weapons, or other loot with a slight chance of stumbling upon a hidden stash. However, looting these trunks or boots, depending where you're from, will increase your wanted level. So if you have a 0 wanted level, you'll get 1 wanted level instantly. With Cop Killer taking on the NCPD becomes a full-fledged battle for control, allowing you to track your kills, earn rewards, and even rally Night City's downtrodden citizens to your side. Moving over to Night City Alive. With Night City Alive, gang members and civilians get more spice. They're often up to no good with shootouts breaking out all around the streets, civilians reacting realistically to the chaos, fleeing the scene, or even retaliating if threatened. At the highest density settings, almost every corner of Night City has something going on, creating an environment where you never know what you'll encounter. It's a great mod for anyone looking to enhance the sense of unpredictability and lawlessness that defines Night City. Now, 2 things. 1, if you are going to use this with the Law Enforcement Overhaul, make sure you read Law Enforcement Overhaul's post page, the top of it, where the mod creator wrote his little thing. But I already spoke on that, I do believe. And 2, a great mod to pair with Night City Alive is Immersive Cyberpunk City 2.1. This mod takes interactions with NPCs to a whole new level, making the citizens of Night City more than just background characters. With this mod, you can now loot civilians for valuables like money, clothes, and jewelry, adding a new layer of criminal realism to your game. It's no longer about just moving through the crowds. Now they're a resource for you. You can also grab civilians from behind, choke them out, or even murder them in cold blood, which opens up new tactical possibilities for stealthier gameplay. This mod also enables civilian hacking, letting you disrupt their devices or gain control in various ways. You can even hack their cars. I don't know if you could do that before, but I noticed it after installing this mod. You also now earn experience points from the fights, and this mod also makes it so cops drop weapons, items, and even weapon blueprints, which doesn't seem to be a massive issue if you pair this with the Cop Killer mod. They both sort of do the same thing. This mod doesn't just add more interactions, it makes the city feel like a place you can truly act like a rogue mercenary, ready to do whatever it takes to survive and thrive in Night City's gritty underworld. It's perfect for players who want that full cyberpunk experience, where NPCs aren't just set dressings, but assets you can target, rob, and exploit. Hopping over to real vendor names. Man, I love this mod. It's so little and cool, you know? If you're tired of seeing vague labels like Ripperdoc on the map, Real vendor names is a subtle yet powerful improvement. This mod replaces generic map icons with actual vendor names. Like instead of it saying bar, it'll show the actual name of the bar, like the Oho Club or Afterlife, and the various other bar locations in Cyberpunk. Same with gun shops or food places. There are still, after installing this mod, a couple unnamed places, but overall, this is a huge improvement, and to this day, I am still baffled that CDPR never gave the map icons actual names. Like, you could have at least done it, like, I understand, right? If it says bar icon until you go into said bar, and then it can change to the actual name. Like, it's not like the names don't exist. You know what I mean? They exist. It's on the... Anyway, this mod makes it way easier to find specific vendors, and it's especially handy for literally everyone. All right, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. It's a small change, but it's a massive must-have if you ask me. Next up, Nova City Addons. With Nova City Addons, traffic and pedestrian skyrockets, creating a more chaotic city environment. It's a surreal experience to drive through such dense traffic, especially in areas like Corpo Plaza or that roundabout that gets just filled up. It feels like a real metropolitan hub. Driving with this mod is intense. You'll be dodging traffic at every turn, making escapes or high-speed getaways feel genuinely thrilling. The sheer number of cars and pedestrians it does add is very intense, and it can be frightening. I was driving on the highway and there was just car, and I was going so fast, and oh my god, it was like it was almost scary. Now, I didn't get the night vision version, so go to the mod page, files, and I just downloaded the traffic part. I didn't get the night vision one personally. I don't think I need it. But the mod definitely adds to the living, breathing city. And next up, a amazing little mod called Auto Drive. Now, this mod will always bring you back to your first moments in Night City, where Jackie was driving you around. Auto Drive lets you set a waypoint and let your car drive you there. Basically like Wii Robot, right? But with this mod, you will want to look at the optional files for it. There is one that allows you to sit in the passenger seat, and there's another which is for traffic mods. Download both of those and you will be super good. It allows you to sit in the passenger seat and enjoy the scenery as the city rolls by. Extremely perfect when the vibes are rain. And with these other mods that I mentioned just before this, like Night City Alive, for example, when the gangs are all fighting each other, you can just watch it go by as you're sitting in the passenger seat, safe. Be in the armored car, you know. Now let's fix the driving. And these mods I have paired together, and it's overall a much better experience than base game driving. The paired driving mods are Cyberdrift, Gripped Up, Dynamic Downforce, and Dynamic Gravity Modifier. These mods work in harmony to give you incredibly responsive driving experience. Cyberdrift lets you slide around corners with finesse, while Gripped Up increases traction, reducing unnecessary oversteering. Dynamic Downforce keeps your vehicle stable at high speeds, and Dynamic Gravity Modifier ensures that every car feels weighty and controlled. Together, they make driving in Cyberpunk feel like you're behind the wheel of a powerful machine, ideal for navigating the intense traffic from Nova City Addons. It's the ultimate setup for anyone serious about vehicular realism in Night City. Hopping over to Drive an Area Vehicle. This mod introduces your own personal AV, lets you experience Night City from above. It's a breathtaking way to experience the world, offering new perspective and a thrilling method for travel across the map. And it is pristine. Yes, the autopilot on it is a bit wacky, but it's pristine. So yeah, basically you can buy this from the virtual car dealer, which was going to be the last mod I mentioned in the video. Which actually, you know what? Yeah. I'm not telling. Hopping over to the next mod, Dynamic NPC Items. With Dynamic NPC Items, civilians hold a variety of objects like phones, tablets, and drinks, as well as bags, while walking around the city. This small detail makes Night City feel more alive, as NPCs go about their daily routines with a level of interaction previously missing. It's a simple mod, but it adds a level of realism that contributes to the immersive experience, especially in high traffic areas where NPCs gather and interact. The mod also added umbrellas, so if you notice that it's not raining and they're holding umbrellas, that's because they're a little bit stupid. But when it is raining and they're holding umbrellas, it's meant to be. And I know that when it's raining, they automatically grab umbrellas anyway. But it's a nice little mod. I thought it deserved to be chucked in. Sorry for the interruption. Here are some mods that I forgot to add in. These will really enhance how you interact with Night City and immerse yourself in its atmosphere. Plus, some of them work directly perfectly together. So let's jump into them. First up, Lean Anywhere. Lets you casually lean on walls, railings, and various surfaces, allowing you to just lean back and enjoy the chaos that is Night City. It's very immersive. Now, the next mod, Sit Anywhere. With Sit Anywhere, you can take a seat wherever you want, benches, ledges, any seat of any kind, no matter where you are. You have the option to sit and observe the world around you. This mod brings actually quite a lot of atmosphere to Cyberpunk, and it just allows you to just take it all in. Great mods. I honestly could not do the video without these mods because they are such a overhaul, man. They really are. But with that, this Sit Anywhere Immersive FPP camera mod expands on the Sit Anywhere mod. Basically gives you a better first-person view with a more realistic and immersive perspective. Great little mod. And then after that, Idle Anywhere, which adds just so much more to them as well. Idle Anywhere allows you to you can either stay still for a little bit and the menu will pop up, or you can push the keybind. I think on controller, it's the left stick. On mouse and keyboard, I don't know what it is. I haven't used it with mouse and keyboard yet. But once you do that, it will pop up with a menu where you can drink, eat, drink soda, and smoke. And they're all animated and it's really nice. And then on top of that, the next mod, TV Anywhere. Once you do a little short fetch quest from Victor, like once you install the mod, you'll get a text message from Victor and you can do a little fetch quest. You will get a nice little portable TV where you can watch from anywhere in Night City, whether in the Badlands, a back alleyway, a rooftop, the sky, wherever you want. And it perfectly combines with the Idle Anywhere mod. It has its own little pop-up in that menu. Such a good addition. Very nice together. All these mods are incredible. But yeah, whether you want to watch some freaking ads or some of your favorite shows in Cyberpunk, you can do so. It's a simple mod that makes a city feel, just cooler. These mods are perfect for anyone who wants a little bit of more immersion and just straight up vibes in Cyberpunk 2077. I'm sorry for jumping in again. I think I brushed abruptly cut this video off twice now. I'm sorry, this video seems like it's a massive mess in my head. I've got to like piece it all together now. With the mods not working, well, the one mod not working randomly, and then me just completely missing this whole this whole section of mods. Ooh. It's 5 a.m. 5:30 now, actually. All right, get out of here. Get back to the rest of the video. And the next mod I have is the Car Modification Shop. The Car Modification Shop is a one-stop garage for customizing your vehicle's performance. Located in Northside Watson, this shop allows you to install upgrades that directly affect your handling, speed, and more. And the upgrades are also saved to your vehicle, so your customized ride is always ready. It's ideal for players looking to personalize their vehicle's performance, whether you're planning for a big chase or just want to make your car feel a bit more responsive. Pairs very nice with those driving mods I mentioned earlier. But lastly for today, the Virtual Car Dealer. The Virtual Car Dealer mod lets you purchase your modded vehicles from V's computer. It also is the main way to get the AV purchased. And then once you've purchased these vehicles, if you download any car mods, they will be available in the Virtual Car Dealer. I figured most people would have the Virtual Car Dealer by now, but like all these mods together is a massive overhaul of Cyberpunk. But that wraps up the best mods to completely overhaul Cyberpunk 2077. These mods turn Night City into a more immersive, explosive, and bustling place, where every drive, chase, or stroll through the city feels real and reactive. If you enjoyed this guide, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss more ways to elevate your Cyberpunk 2077 experience. If there's any mods you feel that should have been in the video, please don't hesitate to let me know down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.